Welcome to another show of Don't Judge the Book by the Author. My name is Robin Travis. Today I have a special guest with me, man. It's almost funny because we put out a missing report for this author. And he didn't know because we were looking for him and he wasn't watching the show because no one's been promoting it. Jokes aside. I'm so grateful to have this author here. So without further ado, no time wasting. Some people think me as author is one of the only people to write books. Coming from my background, from my community, I'm not the only one. So none other than Emeka Egbuonu.
Yes, what's going on, brother? Pleasure.
Author of Ambitions of the Deprived.
Yeah.
Author of Consequences.
Yeah.
Author of My Sister's Pain. And author of A King. 4 outstanding books. My brother, you know off camera how I feel about you. As a person, as an author, as a creator. Yeah. And I'm so happy to have you document this because time is such a precious gift, man. And we don't know if we've got tomorrow and wake up tomorrow. So
this is it.
I was joking around saying to people, look, we're looking for this guy, Emeka. I was saying it on other shows, we're looking for him. Anyone seen him? I couldn't find your Instagram. Lost my phone, couldn't find my number, so I was like, where's he gone? Maybe you're disheartened. I know how it feels. And I just really wanted you to be the first guest on the show, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. Just because I know that we started at the same time and we've had so much conversation. So bro, my pleasure, my honor. Yeah. Thank you for joining me in the space.
Good to be here, man. See, I like what you're doing. You're still being consistent, still doing what you're doing. So good to be here, bro.
Love, bro. So let's get into this. Let's get straight into this. Your first book. When did you decide to put pen to paper and then we'll talk about your first book? What made you become an author? As we're talking about, don't judge the book by the author. What made you wake up one day, coming from Hackney, because you come from a similar background to myself.
Yeah.
Tell the people where you're from and what made you come into this.
I grew up in Haggerston. From Haggerston, moved to Hoxton, which I spent a lot of my teenage years and before going to uni and things like that. So anyway, when I finished uni, came back, I was working with young people, so I was meant to work in the city, computer science background, all of that. But I remember Jeanette, Jeanette, that's how we met, she introduced us. Yeah, Janet, yeah.
Is it Jeanette?
She's Jeanette, yeah.
And I've been calling her Janet all this time. Sorry Jeanette, yeah, sorry. I was going to say that's how we met.
Yeah.
Janet, yeah, cool.
So I went back to the old youth club and I was sort of volunteering at the time, and just hearing some of the conversations with the young people just sounded mad familiar from the perspective of I know where this is leading.
When you say volunteering, just for the viewers, volunteering for what, sorry?
Just more being in the youth club.
Yeah, youth club.
Yeah, youth club setting, sort of mentoring, talking to the young people at the time. So just listening to the conversations and kind of hearing the mistakes that are about to happen. Yeah. So that's what sort of propelled me to say, you know what, I can't hear all of this knowing what the outcome is. When you know this is guaranteed, this is the guaranteed outcome, and to not say nothing, which is why I always say sometimes withholding knowledge is one of the most selfish things you can do, in terms of when you know that you can add value to somebody, but at least telling them what they do with that information is up to them. But you've done your part by sharing the knowledge that could help change that course of action. So that's what I felt compelled to do at the time, in terms of just be in that environment. So I went and done my youth work qualifications to stay there permanently. And my first book came.
What year was that?
This is 20.
Doing the youth work.
So youth work started 2009, and I was in it for about 2 years before I decided to put pen to paper, and was highly motivated by that cohort of young people who are all turning 30, like I was saying to you off camera, who are all turning 30 now, so it just gives away our age.
The irony of that is, you were saying that you were working with those children in 2012?
Yeah.
When you first became a youth worker?
2009, when I first became a youth worker.
I believe I was working there at the same time.
Okay.
I was a part of Daniel Pink's team, the outreach workers.
Okay.
And where the shops were in Shakespeare, we used to work with them there.
Okay, really?
Coming out the internet cafe. Yeah, so some of the names you mentioned, you said now that you saw one of the young people on the plane, and you're like, wow, this young man's read your book, and or he was part of the journey that allowed you to write the book.
Yeah.
And when you said it, it kind of made me laugh because I was a project worker with a group called Reality Around Gangs, even though I hate that word. And he was sent to us by the probation.
Okay.
And that's what I didn't say to you off camera, but he was sent to it, and he was working with me. He was on my order list. So it was always, and I was young at the time. I was like 22, just fresh out of jail from Jamaica. So our paths are kind of aligned in that way, where we started through doing the youth work and then thinking that you had something to add value to.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I recommend all your books to the viewers, but this first one I want to discuss is Consequences.
Yeah.
And that was, which was inspired by the youth that you're working with. So would you like to tell some people the details about that book? And
Yeah, so it all came around because the youth club setting, you have table tennis, pool tables, it's all very social. So I was like to my colleague, I'm going to take one of these nights, I'm going to just remove all of this stuff and we're just going to talk. Before I was crazy. I was like, no, we're gonna have a session and it's just going to be talking about different things that matter to the young people. So education, family, stereotypes, police, violence, all of it. We're just going to put it all on the table. Whoever wants to come can come. If we only end up talking to 2 people, then so be it. It became one of the most popular nights. It was a Wednesday evening. Normally we have about 20, 23, 24 on an average. I remember I think the peak we had about 40 young people. Everybody just, sometimes there's not seats, everybody just kind of just standing around in a massive circle and everybody just had something to say. They would just put their hands up and just say it. And so I guess my message ultimately during that whole period, the 2 years when I first started, was all around choices and consequences. In terms of that moment of thinking about your actions, in terms of positive or negative, in terms of cause and effect, in terms of understanding how to manage your emotions and all of these things. And so once we were having all of these conversations, some of the core things that came out of it was exclusions from school, violence, the core reasons of violence, who's running schools, in terms of predominantly females who don't understand the male experience, essentially. And all of that.
When you say female teachers?
Female teachers, which there always seems to be a clash. When you look at the research, when you look at just the lived experience.
And how they engage with some of the young male black students.
Exactly. So looking at all of that, that just kind of inspired me to say, okay, beyond these conversations, how do we take these conversations out of this part of Hackney and to other parts of Hackney, to other boroughs, and as far as we can go. I wasn't a comedian, not a rapper. I made a few beats back in the day. That's probably my most closest thing in music. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a period where everybody was either spitting or making beats or just around. So I was like, okay, I had the poetry, but I didn't have the rhythm, so I wasn't trying to force it. I've always had the words. So it was just more of, okay, I'm just gonna write, because that's the tool that I can use to communicate my ideas and the ideas that we've kind of created with these young people. And so that's how Consequences came about.
The Consequences was released 2011, am I right?
Yeah, just after the riots.
You know what month that was?
September. So it's literally about 5-6 weeks after the riots.
It's crazy, because I feel like, I don't know if Prison to the Streets, I think it was 2012. It was this October, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, and again, it was around the riots. I remember it being said. When I say aligned, I mean, I think we did have a conversation. Let me go back.
Yeah.
I think one time I saw you in Holly Street. I think that might have been when we first met.
The first met was, I was in the car with Janet. You was walking, and I remember clearly because I used to live literally in like Scriven Street. So we was driving. Janet saw you. She pulled over, and she goes, "I need to introduce you." And we both. I think you've already told her that you're writing a book.
Okay.
So that's when she first made the introduction.
Okay.
And then the other time where we had a proper conversation
was in Holly Street.
Was in Holly Street.
Yeah, I remember that first one. I don't remember the Scriven Street one. So even then, that was back in, I say 2008. 9.
No, so this would have been early 2011.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because she would have already mentioned that you were writing your book, and then I was in the process of writing my book to come out in September. So I think you were already writing yours as well at the time.
Okay, so when we met, it was off the back of the books.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Feels like it was a lot longer than that. So yeah, cool. So we both worked with the same group of young people.
Yeah.
And you've gone on to now write Consequences. Now, further to Consequences, how did Consequences do before we go into the next one? How did you find it was received? What did you learn from that experience as an author? Was it published, self-published?
Yeah, it was self-published. It was, I think I learned a lot from that book in terms of when I eventually wrote other books, because the quality control could have been better in hindsight, looking back. But you know, when you're just passion project,
you want to get it out there.
You want to get it out there, and also you don't have the resources that a traditional publisher has. So I had an editor, but it needed multiple phases of editing in order to get it to the standard. But from that perspective, that's something I always talk about. But outside of that, how it was well received. A lot of people enjoyed it. It was referenced a lot for university students. I kept getting a lot of people referencing it, wanted to use the book as a reference. The Guardian picked it up at the time.
Oh wow!
So there was an article in the Guardian around that, and then obviously all the local gazettes like Hackney Gazette, Islington Gazette. So it was received quite well. Maybe because just the traction of the riots had just happened, it was quite fresh. So this.
Do you feel like it was understood? Because I remember when I wrote Prison to the Street in the early stages, I felt like they were more concerned with the hype of the story at times. Not everyone, but then some people missed the actual overall message. So did you feel like you understood? Because I remember getting to the end of my book and still having people leave reviews like, it was a good book about gangs, explaining gangs, when I was saying that behaviour is not really gang behaviour, it's kind of confusion behaviour. So did you feel you were misunderstood, or did you feel
partly I think it had those kind of reviews as well in regards to people didn't understand the message. Obviously this was a non-fiction book. It was just more about, it was broken down into different chapters around core issues that lead young people to potentially making wrong decisions, which leads to negative consequences. So that was the tone to every. So whether I'm talking about stereotypes, the family breakdown, all of those things. So I think there was a lot of misunderstanding, but for the most part, I think people got the message from the book. So yeah.
So your second book is Ambitions of the Deprived.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that we was posting when we said your guy missing. We were going to put a picture of you here, see if you see this guy, but we didn't go that far.
Yeah.
We'd have given it another year before we put out the picture. But seriously, jokes aside, this book is powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain to the viewers again a bit more about Ambitions of the Deprived when it came out? What led you to continue to be an author? Because most people usually just write one book and
say we've all got one book in us, isn't it?
Yeah. What made you? This is now when for me, you become an author. Once you start, you continue.
For me, I really enjoyed the process of putting something together and being in control of it.
Okay.
Which is important to me. And it came in a dream, to be fair. I had the title.
Those ones are the powerful ones. When they come in dreams,
literally. I remember woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just got pen and paper and I wrote down ambitions. And I was like, what's the other word? What's the other word? You know when you're trying to remember what you saw in a dream, and the other word was like deprived. And I was like, what does this mean? And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna leave. I just put that away. Just the 2 words. It wasn't even ambitions of the deprived at that point. It just those 2 words. And then a few days later, I'm thinking, obviously still working with young people, and we're constantly talking about goals and purpose, because from day one I've never said to young people, put down the guns, put down the knives. My thing has always been, find a purpose. Nobody needs to tell you to do that.
Yeah, that. Say that again, please.
I said, when you find a purpose, nobody needs to tell you to do that, because that purpose is going to make you understand the consequences, understand the choices, and seeing the bigger picture beyond what we feel like in the concrete jungle of where we grew up.
That's powerful, bro.
Essentially. So, not to say people that say that doesn't matter, because sometimes you have to be direct and just say to somebody, listen, this is the consequences of that. But for me, it was more about, if I can get you closer towards a purpose, then that's the natural course of success. And so, that was the idea. And then I just started thinking, okay, a lot of stories are told from the perspective of many young people who are the minority in our areas, who are involved in criminality for whatever reason, essentially. But then I'm like, there's a vast majority of young people that we work with that want to succeed but are living in this environment. Who's telling their story? And how does the other story intertwine with their story? And that's what this is about. It's about four friends who make a pact. That pact ends up being called... that pact is the ambitions of the deprived to help each other succeed no matter what happens. And then one of them gets caught up in joint enterprise murder just by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then the story is all about friendships. What does it actually mean to be friends? How many people from 2004 who grew up in the same area are still talking to each other today?
And what would be the consequences of having some of those friends if they're not making the correct decisions that they're making?
So that's where this sort of takes you on a journey and delves into each of their lives and that one connecting story about justice and friendship.
Bro, again, you know the respect I have for you, man. Like, this is like a weird conversation with me because we're doing it on camera. But it's like, I really revere you as an author, your creative, not just work, your explanation of the creativity. You understand it. You know what you're going for, you know what it is. For me, that's the full package as a creator. So I'm looking forward to later on in the conversation what we're going to talk about. I'm going to hold back for a bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do in that field. But yeah, also the first two books are more street related, as you said. They're more inspired by criminality and the surroundings and things you saw. But you put out two books in that format, and then the third book you crossed the hill, so to speak. So My Sister's Pain. That's all I can say. My Sister's Pain. That title could make you think 1,001 things. But it's about a young girl in Africa, and the way that story was written, I questioned: did you write it, or did you get a female to write it for you? But then before I've spoken to you about it, but the way it was written, you managed to transfer into feel your sister's pain and put yourself in a position of females. And would you like to talk a bit about that book? But for me, guys, My Sister's Pain, I don't have a copy here. That's the only book that I didn't have a copy of. There's Consequences I lent out, and I don't know who's taking it from the bookshelf. Whoever's got that, if your son's reading it, then he can keep it. But, My Sister's Pain, I need a copy.
We'll get that to you.
I've not read My Sister's Pain, but I've read the reviews of My Sister's Pain. Some of the reviews, I haven't read all of them. But remember when it came out, I was trying to get the feel of it. I read the back of the book, and I read the reviews, and coming to the book launch myself, being a part of that experience. And I was quite moved. So tell people about that. Tell people about the book launch, because I'm sure that's the first time you actually did a book launch for your books. Your first time
to that scale, because I've always done a book launch, but it's gradually progressed, and then obviously through your motivation, you're the one that kind of inspired me to try and break this ceiling.
I want to say why I did that. I want to say, because you said that to me before through my motivation, it's revering something. People compete with people. People look at people and say, boxers, they're meant to compete. Footballers, they're meant to compete. Youth workers are not meant to compete, but we still see competitive behaviour in youth work. You're all for where I'm from. You're not from the same world I'm from, but you're from the same world I'm from. And you've made better decisions which gave you different consequences. You're from the same world I'm from. And I felt like when I came onto the scene, you can call it ignorantly at times, even though we spoke, I felt like, why is everyone just focusing on me? Because I remember I met you in Early Street, and you said, and I know I'm not the only black male author coming from Hackney. But I felt like when I was mentioning people to you, they didn't know. So I was like, how do you get exposure? So I suggested Hackney Empire as a theme, because the bigger the venue may be, the more attention it grabs, and then your art would be recognised. So it's just getting people to see your work.
And I think that conversation, it opened the door of, how do I put this in terms of
no limit. Because before you were putting a roof on it.
Because you're trying to know your place. And what you're capable of. Oh, I did a small bar for the first one. I had 70 people turn up. That's my place. Cool. Next one, community hall, 120 people. I knew my place. That's where and then the conversation that we had is like, what, that venue? I know the venue very well. I've been part of Boroughs United with the Crib since 2000. I know what that looks like on the regular basis. You know, so it's like, what for a book launch? But then the conversation, I was like, why not? Let me fail forward, if anything, because the way my brain works, I'm like, now it's in my head. Now I have to try it.
The seed's been sowed.
Yeah, and I have to. So that was me. So I have to try. And so my sister's pain was more about.
And that was to almost sold out Hackney Empire, if I remember.
Yeah,
That was Ram, and I came late, and it was Ram.
Yeah. So it was good, but it was me paying homage to women who I respect very much in regards to what they contribute towards our community. And so the idea came from when I did a talk in Holloway Women's Prison. And it wasn't an experience of what you normally get from a prison in terms of people always talk about the negativity. But when I went in there, it was just more of the sisterhood.
Okay.
Like, they're all like, if somebody's about to be released, we hope we never see you again in the most loving way, that type of mentality. And I remember sitting with one of the women. She came up to me and she started crying. Because after I gave my speech, she was crying. She said, one of the things you said really got to me. She started telling me about her story, how she ended up there because of domestic violence. It's been going on for years. By the time she retaliated, you know, she ended up where she ended up, essentially. And we were talking, and I was just thinking sisterhood. I remember I've got two younger sisters. This plot came to me, and I was like, I'm not qualified to write this story because it came from the two characters are two females. And I spoke to my editor at the time. She's a young lady, and she's like, Emeka, you're an African man who's come from lineage of storytellers who used to tell stories from
sitting around campfire.
Nobody cared about gender. It's about the message. do you know what I mean? It's just about the message, and that's the mindset that I had to have, because I wasn't writing a non-fiction about menopause or about periods or this is how it is, what it means to be a woman. I'm creating a character who has a unique perspective on life, essentially. So. But I had to pay homage. I had to do the research. Spoke to many women, interviewing them, long hours, trying to understand every micro thing that they do, from when you wake up to what you're thinking when you're going on a date, just so you can add all of those little things within, because it becomes real. So going back to the point that you made in regards to, it feels like a woman's written that, is because I did the research around trying to add all of those elements towards it. So yeah.
And when was that book released? What year?
2017, but most of the writing took place in 2016.
Again, I think that's when Mama Can't Raise No Man was released. What month was that?
When did we do the launch? We did the launch in February. So I think your launch was in 2016, September.
2016.
So yours was
I thought that was
September.
2017.
Mine was 2017,
No,
February.
I thought Mama Can't Raise No Man was 2017. So if that's 2016, again, I'm asking alignment. So I'm asking you questions where I've even been asked myself, how was you capable of writing from a woman's perspective in Mama Can't Raise No Man? And there's a twist to it as well, people know, so I won't say too much. But, again, same thing, research. So paying homage to all of our sisters, it wouldn't be done without speaking to you, even as the author. And I commend you for doing that, bro. But yeah, My Sister's Pain, again, I haven't read it. I want my copy. Please, can I have my copy, signed preferably. But yeah, My Sister's Pain is a book. Even the cover, it just captured me. So I'm gonna be letting people see the cover. That's what it is. Where can people get this book from?
Amazon. Yeah, that's where everybody knows. Plus, it's on my website as well.
Cool. So when was 2017 was My Sister's Pain? 2011 was Consequences. When was Ambitious of the Pride? I think I missed that year.
That was 2015 that came out.
So that's 3 books in 6 years. Heavyweight. And you're still parenting and doing work and full time and all these other stuff.
Yeah, man. It's just discipline and consistency, motivation.
Where do you find the time to be consistent and determined to do that? Because that's not easy to do 3 books in 6 years.
It's mainly in the mornings, because I'm naturally a morning person anyway. So if the day's busy, especially with family, I know that after work, I've got the girls, and just the mental capacity.
No point. Tried to-
Yeah, like I pull out the laptop, I'm looking at the screen, it's looking at me, and then we'll close it. And so we'll try again tomorrow. But then that's how procrastination happens, because if you keep trying to do it in the evening, I know that I'm not going to write anything, and if I do, it's not going to be anything of substance. So I'm like, okay, cool. Sacrifice sleep, and sleep earlier, because with me, I'm like, I need my own time, and that often is at night time when everybody else is sleeping. Just to decompress from the world and the family. I just need my time, whether I'm just watching something or just thinking to myself. So it's like, okay, I had to sacrifice that alone time for sleep in order to be able to wake up 4:30 in the morning, get 2 hours, 6:30 start getting ready for work. So at least I know, similar to those that go to the gym early, once you've done it, it's done. That is it.
Yeah, again, kudos to you, man. You're a legend in the game.
I was about to say sounds of the environment.
Let me get back to my focus. Alright, cool. So that's 3 out of 4, guys. The 4th book I wanted to bring to your attention, because this man here, and I say it like, it's not easy to write 4 books, man. I know what number I'm on, but I'm like, it's not easy. I know what it takes. And it's not just books. They're not one-hit wonders. They're all powerful potential films in each right. So this story here, because most films start as books. So every time I look at one of Emeka's books, I'm thinking film, and that's the same with myself. I'm thinking film. But this next book is definitely a film. But I want to talk about this book film at first. Ikena. Did I pronounce it right?
Ikenna.
Ikena. Sorry, and I want to say it again so I get it right.
Yeah.
Ikena. 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 Because I wasn't born in Africa. I don't have my mother tongue. Working on it. So, can you tell people what Ikena means, please?
Ikenna. That means strength of a father. And
these guys do their thing, man. You are so busy on a Friday.
Yeah, Ikenna. It means strength of a father. It's the irony is that I wrote this at the height of distress and trauma. So my second daughter was she was born at 26 weeks. This is at the start of COVID, and we spent.
For the viewers, this is quite a personal one.
Yeah.
This one here is I saw some of the journey.
Yeah.
In real time. This is I don't know how to word it. This is very close to home.
Yeah.
But go on, Ikena.
Yeah. So I remember I was going to see my friend with my wife, and she was 25 weeks, and then her water broke. And then she was panicking. I was panicking. She called her brother, who's a doctor. He said, "Get to A&E. Get to A&E." They said to her, "We're going to need to keep you in and just monitor." So at this point, it's just trying to keep the baby inside as much as possible. When they say every second the child is in the womb, there's a development happening. This is what we're talking about. Because anything less than 24 weeks, there's nothing they can do. They eventually don't even try to save the baby. So 24 weeks is the cut-off point. Anything after that, you go into the NICU. So we were at 25 weeks. We made it to 26 weeks and 5 days, and the baby was born at 835 grams. 835 grams, so she was literally size of my hand. So anyway, the next few months were going to be in the ICU. And writing was my escape from being surrounded by incubators and machines that were beeping 24 hours. The only time we'd go home was to shower, get some food, check on the eldest, and then come back. Essentially, taking it in shift.
How long was that experience for?
7 months.
7 months of continuously going to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, at the height of COVID as well. So it was the world was in a mess. Anyway, so I remember school, everything shut down. So I'll be in my daughter's room, and then I'll go to the parents' room to teach a lesson on Teams. Finish teaching, go back into the ICU, pull out the laptop, and then as soon as I started writing, it's like I couldn't hear all of the beeps anymore. And then the only thing that I'm constantly conscious of when you're in these rooms is the oxygen levels. So you're constantly seeing, okay, it's today and have we made progress? Does she need less oxygen? Because that's when we're close to home, all of these things. So yeah, I wrote Ikenna there. So, and the story it's around fatherhood as well.
Sorry, because I'm sure everyone's gonna want to know the question. Is your child's name Ikenna?
No, her name is Ezene,
That's what
and her middle name is Destiny. So yeah, it was a journey, but one that we're thankful for, because it's not something you'd wish on anyone, because you have to count your blessings, because some days we'd walk into the hospital, into the room, and then we'll see a candle's been lit, and then we know that one of the child babies haven't made it. So that's always fresh in your mind.
What did that represent?
Yeah, it was, you're questioning why you're in this situation, but then at the same time, when you see somebody's lit a candle and their child is no longer here, you're also showing gratitude at the same time. That exactly. So, and then everyone's at a different journey. So somebody that was born at 24 weeks ended up staying in hospital for pretty much almost 18 months. Just a period of 2 weeks. And then if the baby stayed in the womb for even another 2 weeks, we might have been home 2 or 3 months earlier, for those who were born at 28 weeks, for instance. So everybody's journey is different, essentially. Everybody had different issues with development for their child. So, but thankfully, we were able to go home without oxygen, but then we just have to figure out what we need to deal with as she continues to grow, essentially. But the book itself was about a young man whose name is Ikenna. He's a 13, 14-year-old. He doesn't have a good relationship with his father.
What part of Africa was this?
Nigeria. So this is based in the UK, but then they eventually go back to Nigeria. So the father served in the British Army in his mid-30s. Hasn't had a good relationship with his son. So he's on a mission to try and reconcile that relationship, essentially. And then things happen. The son now has to come and move in with the dad. But then in Nigeria also, the dad, Toby, his dad is now suffering from dementia. He's now put out a call to say that come home. He wants to now lay out the plan for when he's no longer here, in terms of the will. So him and his dad had issues because his dad served in the army during the Biafra War, where Nigeria and the Biafrans, there's a massive war, and then the British supported Nigeria in this sort of genocide against the Igbo people. So his dad really hates that the son went and fought for the British Army. So that was the fracture of that relationship. So across 3 generations, this father has got a problem with his son, and this father's got a problem with his son.
That's it.
So one of the main things within this is trying to rebuild this whole relationship across the 3 generations. But then one of the taglines of the film is, how do you forgive a man who no longer remembers the pain that he's caused? So it takes you on this journey of trying to rebuild the relationship with his son, trying to rebuild the relationship with his dad.
Generational curse, trying to break it.
So that's what Ikenna is about. So just the overall of strength of a father, because each father has their own story. No matter their flaws, they still have their story, and each story should be told. That's it.
Bro, kudos. Like 4 books, 4 powerful stories, 4 different angles, 4 different ways of writing those stories. I'm excited. And each of those stories are, how can I say this? They're, like I said, they're movies to me. So, with that being said, let's talk about what's happening with Emeka in 2025. Because what I'm seeing on social media, alright, let me go back, let me dress back. I called you in what month was it? December? 2024? No, maybe November. One of them 2 months, I can't remember. And I can't remember what I was calling you for. There was a check-in, and I was just like, what's good? But I wanted to share with you what I was up to in my life? Because I haven't heard from you. You've been missing. We've been sending out missing reports for you for how long? We're trying to get you to do podcasts from season 2. This is from season 1. We've been trying to get Emeka. It's from season 1. This is season 3.
Okay.
Facts. We're looking for you from season 1. So this is like 20 episodes later. We found you.
Yeah.
So my whole point is, when I called you, that was just to touch base. Then I called you and I said to you, look, Rex, man, I'm doing filmmaking now. I'm in uni, I'm just finishing up a master's, etc., etc. And then you left me with one of the best feelings that I've ever had when your response was, I'm graduating in a couple of months. So I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a minute, what are you graduating from? And I'm like, hold on a minute, what's he talking about? He's graduating. He's been uni. I know Mecca's been uni. So then he said he's graduated, then you said filmmaking, and bro, you weren't on FaceTime. And if you was, you would have seen the Cheshire cat smiling, because in my head I'm thinking, authors can't really work with each other, per se. They can't. They can, you could edit my book, or you could sit down and write cool in it, but you can't really work with the author. His book is his book. Filmmaking, I just thought, I've always thought one hand is more powerful, one hand can't clap. So when I heard that, again, like I said, the alignment with the youth working, alright, different types of books, not the same books, but similar books in terms of the street ones and Prison to the Street. So it's like, it's intertwining, different subjects, but it allows me to not write the books that you're writing, or it makes it easier. Like, you can't give value to everyone on everything. You need some other people to help you with that. Then when I see you doing the film side, I'm like, yo, this alignment is a bit weird. Forget the same star sign stuff, because I'm not really too into the star sign stuff, but cool, that's something that's always in the back of my mind, because I've been taught like to take star signs a little bit serious. So cool. For the African knowledge side of it, not for the other side of it. So for me, it's like, wow, alignment again. So then I'm on Instagram and I see a little post, and I see a post with a picture of it. Looks like an estate that I used to hang around. And I'm busting up and I'm seeing you saying the script writer, and I'm like, bro, you see, jealousy is not really my thing. You see, because I come from a background where people were jealous, and people watch you, and they can't celebrate a win. I'll say it publicly. I was meant to graduate this year. I told you, right? It didn't happen, bruv. I've already graduated for you, because when one of us win, we all win. And my time will come for me to graduate, because it's not the certificate, it's the journey and the lesson and the who you're meant to meet along the way. We've met along the way through books, and now we're connecting again on other stuff. So bro, before we get to the film thing, I need to say it publicly, I'm so proud. Bro, when I say proud, it's like, I don't want to sound undermined, I'm sure like you're a year older than me, but I'm proud.
You're my OG, man. What are you talking
Am I older than you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was the other way around.
I pay homage, bro.
I thought it was the other way around.
Nah, man.
So when I say proud, then it's not under, even if the 1 year, it's not undermining. It's like, bro, it's nuts. Coming from where we come from, so again, you know where we come from. So when you're outside of that, man, God, when you're outside looking at someone doing that, but when you're doing it as well and they're doing it, it makes you realize what you're doing. Like, sometimes I look at you and I'm like, bro, he's from the end though. And then I'm like, Rob, you're doing this, you're from the end. Because I can't see it in myself all the time. And that's why I like to beep your horn, like, bro, don't get it twisted, bro, you've smashed the game. Whether people knew your name or know your name, and this is why I've been dying to get you on the show, because any opportunity I get to say your name, even if it's on the street, having a conversation with people about books, and they're like, yeah, you're the only, the kids might say to me, you're the only man I know from the hood around the book. No, I might be the only man who was in the hood doing crazy stuff, but there is another guy you lot don't know about. And tell you the titles of the book, and okay, interesting. But where's the publicity? Again, without a publisher, you don't always get the best publicity. So any opportunity I have. So yeah, bro, kudos, man. Just salute to you, man. And tell me about these films. Tell me about the filmmaking journey, man. Tell me about where we're at now, because that new film is called
Stolen Dreams, Redemption.
Stolen Dreams.
So to be honest, it was a pivotal. I'll be quick with it. It was a pivotal point. I remember I was trying to leave my job at the time, and I applied for a job. I did the interview. At the same time, I've applied for my master's in screenwriting. I've already got my offer letter.
For what, the uni?
For the uni. Start in September. But then you still sort of got family. You want to earn more to support the family. So I was like, if I get this job, I can't do both. Whereas with my current job, if I stay here, I know the setting, I can manage my time and still go uni. So I was like, okay, the outcome of this interview will determine what happens next.
Yeah.
Went for the job. The interview part, they said that somebody else was slightly better, but when it comes to practically teaching, because you always have to do a micro teach. So there's like, oh, that was outstanding.
Yeah,
That's what I do. I'm more of a
Teacher,
practitioner.
yeah.
Like you get the best out of me. What you see is what you get. I didn't get the role, so I was like, I'm going to uni. But then I said to myself, you know, when people say, if it was meant to be, it will be. I was like, nah. If it was meant to be, you have to make it be, because it's not just going to be. I have to make it be. So what I meant by that is like, now that this is what the path is, I have to make this a success in order to go back and say that pivotal moment wasn't supposed to be, because I've now made the other choice mean something even bigger, if that makes sense.
Does make sense.
So anyway, got into uni. Within the first 2 lectures, the lecturer showed us different types of films, and the one that sparked my interest, because I'm surrounded by all my fellow students who've all written scripts before. It's good because I know story structure through writing,
yeah.
so I'm not coming as a true novice.
Yeah.
So then he showed this particular film, because the independent mind is what I'm here with. Everybody's writing to pitch.
Yeah.
I'm writing to see what can I make.
Yeah.
She just showed a conversation of 2 Irish guys in a pub. Mad interesting, just a conversation, but just the way the filmmaker did it. I'm like, I can do that. My first script will be something that I can make. And that's when the idea of Stolen Dreams, which I've had that title before this.
Oh yeah.
This was supposed to be, Stolen Dreams was supposed to be a short film. It's not even a short film, just a short story. And then that dream of the title of Ambitions.
As a film or as a book?
No, just a short story. This is before.
A book story?
Yeah.
Okay,
just
cool.
more, not even a book, but just, you know, when you're just trying to improve your craft.
Okay.
Because Consequences has been written. I haven't written that yet. I thought, let me just keep harnessing the skills.
I get you.
And then Stolen Dreams was supposed to be the short story.
Oh, yeah.
But then this dream happened.
out instead.
And then I wrote this instead, the full thing.
Dream interject.
Yeah. So
That's not-
I left it there. And so now I was like, let me go back to that story and bring it to life, but let me try and turn it into this 2-person drama, 1 location, 2 actors. And so that's when I wrote Stolen Dreams, 2024 June. I managed to get a cinematographer. It's just supposed to be something on my phone, bro. Nothing big, just just get out there and make something. I found a cinematographer. He started talking about RE cameras, and it's like, this is a great script. And then the fact that there was this level of quality attached to it, I'm like, back to the independent mindset of book launches. I'm like, this is a good quality. Let's pull it in a little local cinema, see who will turn up.
Yeah.
Did it in Rio. Genesis had about 300 people
Amazing.
turn up for that.
When was this?
This is June 2024.
Oh, June. Okay.
And then it was only just supposed to, I kind of left it with an ambiguous ending. And then I remember I had a conversation with one young man at the end of one of the screenings. And then I was like, oh my God, I can see the sequel.
Oh yeah.
This is the only way that I would write another one, because they kept saying, oh, what happens next? Are you going to write another one? I didn't have no intentions. I was like, let them marinate that. But then he said that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then
You can go with something.
yeah, but at this time you've got assignments, you've got 6 modules, you've got
I know. Yeah. Presentations.
academic writings plus the actual writing of the feature films. First you have to write.
So was your course a script writing course?
Yeah, just script writing.
Solid.
Wasn't
Okay,
filmmaking.
okay.
So I just did the screenwriting one.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're in film school, you're learning off everyone anyway. So like you're sharing lectures with the people that are actually doing filmmaking. You're understanding, you're learning, and plus as people that have put up book launches, like the producer side is natural to me. I can make calls. I know how to bring people together, create a team.
Yeah.
So that came naturally. So being able to produce,
Like a script writer.
Yeah.
You got both.
became easier. So then with Stolen Dreams 2, when I wrote the script, sent it to a few people to read it, and they were like, yeah, this makes sense, and this will really tie things together. And ultimately the 2 series are about 2 different young people. One young man who is on the right path but has got struggles at home, with his mum, with his dad, and just in school in general. So he's not part of that violence, but his best friend is in that world. So he hints at his best friend in that first series. The second series is now about that best friend. who committed a murder. And it's now not to glorify youth violence, but to understand the mind of somebody who might call an accidental killer. In the sense of altercations happen, you happen to have a knife, you stab somebody, now that person's passed away. For society, two things happen. We follow the trajectory of the family who've lost somebody, rightly so. There's a lot of grief there. But beyond 25 years, 30 years, sentence, that story's ended. But it continues for that person. And so this is more understanding what's happening to the mindset, and is there such thing as redemption even after that kind of crime has been committed. So yeah, so that's what Stolen Dreams is about.
Say no more, man. I'm the line, man. I've got redemption on my neck. That's why I say say no more, man. It just, everything is just, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
When is the release of Stolen?
Stolen Dreams 2 will come out September 20th at Genesis. So we're going.
Are you invited? Just an invitation to people?
Yes,
like,
this is literally. I can officially announce the trailer's coming out today, and the tickets are coming out today as well. So Genesis. So last time we were in Screen 2, Screen 3, which is.
What is Genesis?
This is in Myland. Yeah, Whitechapel.
Yeah.
So we're going to Screen 1
on the 20th of September.
Yep.
I would like you to get your tickets for Stolen Dreams 2.
Yeah.
It will be screening in Whitechapel Genesis. Please, guys, add Emeka as well on Facebook,
social media, all stories by Emeka.
And Instagram.
Instagram.
All stories by Emeka as well. There's not really much more to say other than we look forward to seeing you in September. But is there any more books coming out? Where can people converse with you? What else are you doing? Are you doing writers' workshops? What else are you?
So my plan is to eventually share my knowledge around storytelling, essentially, but still trying to marinate how that happens. But for now, just to continue to put out work. So I'm currently writing a psychological drama at the moment called When I Close My Eyes. I've got a sports drama that I've written called Above the Net, which is focused around a young man who is trying to overcome an educational learning disability, but he's excellent in table tennis. And so it's called Above the Net, inspired by the title of Above the
Rim.
Go on.
You know what's mad? I'm not even gonna do this today.
There's a part 2. This can't be the only one. I have to go pick up my daughter, man. This is too short. But there's.
I'm not even gonna do this. So we need, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come, if they let us, and interview straight after the screen. And some of those people and get some of your feedback and round up this interview. But I think that's enough for people to know you as an author and know what's what. So we'll call it a day there. But we're gonna come to the screening on the 20th of September, guys. Please come down here with me as well, and have a view. Be on the camera, give your feedback. Tell him what you think. Any young actors that I know as well, come down and support this guy, because he's going to be doing a lot more which you can be a part of. So
definitely.
Let's go, man. Where can you said people can find you again on Facebook and social media?
So all social media.
That's where people can find you, and that's it.
Yeah, all social media at Stories by Emeka, and then my website is just storiesbymeka.com. So you can just find me.
My brother, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor.
Yes, man. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate, love, proud. I'm excited to, man, just keep going. Big up everyone, big up the people, bro. People Emeka, let me say it one more time. Emeka Egbuonu.
Yes.
Yeah?
Peace, love.
Hackney's very own.